Hey y'all, I'm finally back with another video, this time trying out a slightly new challenge, I suppose. I've been wanting to try out like an A to Z habitat challenge where I build habitats for each and every single animal in Planet Zoo. That being said, I am only going to be building enclosures, not including terrariums or exhibits that are also in the game. Before I get into the video, I want to say thank you so much for watching at least this far, and I am still very unsure of what my upload schedule is going to be as of yet. I haven't posted or edited a video in around 10 months as I'm recording this. However, since there are a lot of animals in this game, I'm going to try my best to build enclosures for at least most of them. My schedule this semester and probably for a while afterwards is honestly very hectic, especially since I'm taking an online chem class and 2 labs. I don't really get much time to play video games, but I will gladly pick up Planet Zoo and build some stuff whenever I have free time. Let's get started. Getting right into it with the A section, starting off strong with the aardvark enclosure. I decided to also include meerkats, although it's not quite alphabetical. I've decided to include the meerkat for a number of reasons, including the cohabitation benefit, and that it's hopefully going to help me save a lot of sanity, especially down the line, since there are about 195 animals. I usually start off with deciding where to build the guest viewing points and then work around that. This time I've decided to build a circular spot where the guests can view and attach it to the shelter for the aardvarks and meerkats. This allows for the guests to view a lot of the enclosure while also giving the animals a more private area right outside the shelter. In between working on the shelter and the rest of the habitat, I had to decide what shape the area was going to be. I went with an organic, almost almond shape in order to provide a more open feeling to the overall design. I'm also building in sandbox as well as separating the enclosure off from the staff facilities in order to provide more of a focus on the shelter itself. After I sort of plotted out the overall shape, I added some dirt walls provided by Caesar Creates and added a few fences. I worked on the roof of the shelter, going with, unsurprisingly, yet another more organic shape. I've noticed that I definitely prefer a lot more circular or jelly bean shaped roofs. I just feel like they're a lot more calmer and easier to look at than a lot more square or triangular shaped roofs. I'm also addicted to using the conservation slats because it's just such a wonderful color along with the thin details that you can create with them. After I had the planning of the enclosure set up as well as the shelter and a viewing point, it was time to plant things. Since both species are from Africa and enjoy grasslands, I made sure to add a lot of reeds and elephant grass in order to cover up a lot of the ugliness surrounding the backside of that wall, as well as smooth and shape it out and blend it into the surrounding environment. I also decided to add both tropical and arid plants, although only aardvarks like tropical and meerkats like arid, solely because I felt like I needed a little bit more to work with plant-wise in the area. Usually I try to make large bushes and thin it out the further I go. Although this isn't the most realistic way that these plants may grow, it adds a lot more texture to what I build and creates a surrounding environment for the enclosures to live in. After planting, I decided to create a small barrier between the guests and the pathing so that there was a lot less messy interactions between the bushes and the paths before I cleaned it all up with some brighter rocks acting as sort of a gravel. I was going to make signs and education boards for all of the animals I build for, however, I don't really enjoy the look of it. I get the education aspect, and education is very important. However, sometimes it just feels like the boards can clutter up the area, especially when the viewing area might be as small as I've made it. Maybe in future, but I also don't really have a desire to make 195 different education boards, at least not yet. After some minor tweaks, I think I can officially say that the enclosure is finished. Overall, I'm fairly proud of this one, especially since it's been about a year since I've played the game. For me, the aardvark is definitely one of the more overlooked animals in the game, especially with how many cute little animations and interactions they have with their environment. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm hoping to start the next video with the addax. See you then!